So like I was saying, when you get a piece of meat, you're not even getting a quarter of what a full clinical dose of creatine is, which is 5 grams. Okay, so if you got 5 grams of creatine, this is the full clinical dose that people take when they want a creatine load. They'll take it post-workout with a dextrose supplement, okay, to open up the mitochondria and get it into the muscles a lot easier. This is how branched-chain amino acid works. It spikes your insulin with the protein. If you take it with a dextrose supplement or whatnot, and it helps the protein absorb better. But do you notice how your body consists of trillions of cells? You're already made of all these proteins. So what ends up happening is that the reason you need to keep eating more and more and more is because now your body stopped the production of its natural chemistry of protein and your DNA. All this works hand in hand. So when you take steroids, okay, why do you think that when you stop taking steroids, you feel so weak, lethargic, you feel like shit, your sex drive goes down? Why? Because your body's endocrine system shut down the production of its natural hormone because you were giving it already synthetic testosterone. So the body always takes the path of least resistance and goes at the easier route and stops producing what you already giving it. This goes with protein. Why do you think all these bodybuilders, when they don't eat often, they get very, very lethargic, they get very tired, they get very hungry? Because you have been you've been giving the vessel so much food that it's depending on these nutrients now. But don't forget, these nutrients all carry a specific host, an alien. Not a host, an alien, and you are the host. So you put all these things, because diet is deity, you put all these things in there. There's parasites in certain animal products you eat, okay? But these animal products contain these parasites that are gonna help you, that are gonna live in you, but they're gonna help you break down this meat. And that's why when you fast for a while, they say that it's very important how you break your fast, because it might hurt your stomach. But why? Because after a while of fasting, you don't have the aliens working where they're supposed to be to break down this food, expecting this food to work. So when you stop eating meat, for example, you can't eat, and then you go back to eating meat, you're gonna have a really big stomach ache because you've already cleared out everything in there. Why do you think when you eat cheese, yogurts, if you look at the side, it always says enzymes? There's enzymes in there. Why? Because these enzymes have to be introduced to your body to help you break down that cheese, that yogurt, all those things to help you break it down. You have enzymes in your body that help you break down food, okay? And when you fast, why do you think when people fast or when they stop eating meat, they look younger, they look better? And the reason this happens is because you're not using the body's enzymes to break down this crazy dense food. But then there's certain things that are not meant to be ingested in your body, such as cheese, yogurts. They'll have these enzymes to help you break that down. Now, when it comes to the drugs, okay? See, you produce this DMT, but how many people, before they go on these retreats, they have experimented with themselves on trying to produce this natural DMT, which is in your lungs extensively? What happens when you breathe, right? You get high. How many people have tried to do these experiments before they go and try to take DMT, something outside of their body, to have these experiences? I can tell you right now, I would say if 90, and this is me putting this number out, 90% to maybe 95%, I bet you that all these people that go on these retreats haven't done some type of breath work to try to activate DMT in them. Do experiments like that while they're meditating to have these colors appear, to feel like you're going through the bed, the spinning on the bed. All this happened to me without using DMT. Me coming out of body, I didn't need to use DMT. Now, one thing that has never happened to me is every time that I have came out of body, there's been nothing around me. There's been no entities around me. Never. No entities. Who knows, you know? Only I would know this. do you really, you know who or what you are, to the point where you would say, I don't need this, I don't need that, I'm good, I don't need that? Now I'll give you a disclaimer. I've never done any kind of psychoactive drugs. Would I do any psychoactive drugs? At the level I'm at now, I still wouldn't do them yet. I wouldn't do them yet. Even though every single day that passes, I try to put myself in the most empowered state possible, knowing that everything outside of me is an extension of me, and I am source, and what energy I put out is what I attract back again. And yes, and mind you, I saw the last video, it says there's different variables. Absolutely. The variables come in is when you can have an energy put out, but through that energy being put out in this linear time that we're in, we always get these little bullshit thoughts that we entertain in our mind, and that's what's creating the variables. So I mean, like I said, there's a lot to talk about, and I went just literally, I didn't take no notes for this video, just literally went straight in, you know. But I like to talk like that. I don't like to do too much writing or anything like that. Just let the energy flow through me, you know. Before I do this video, I put myself in a calm state and just let the energy flow through me, man. No resistance. And it's me talking, you know. Source, authenticity. Best thing I could tell you is put yourself in the most empowered state possible. You know, here's the funny thing. I'm going to talk about the Amazon rainforest real quick before we close this particular video out. But you see how your attention gets so easily diverted, you know? And when certain things like this happen, you have to pay attention to why this is happening. All right? Certain things happen on certain planetary alignments. This is how everything works. There's always going to be a blueprint, because everything outside of you is basically within you. So look at the Amazon rainforest, all right? It's called an Amazon rainforest because it rains like crazy there, right? Because it rains. Now, if you look at the news, it'll say the Amazon rainforest was intentionally being burned. See what, and this will be televised. Now, this is what happens. Everybody's gonna start to rant and say, man, you know, I can't believe they done this and blah blah blah. How many people who have been complaining about the Amazon rainforest have ever even visited the Amazon rainforest? That's one. Two, how is it affecting you now in your now moment? Is it affecting you in any kind of way? Three, now you start to put yourself in a victim mentality. They're not televising it. They're lying to us. They're not telling us everything. They're burning it down. But at the end of the day, here's how I look at this, all right? Everything outside of you, like I said, is within you, okay? The Amazon rainforest right now is on fire. Do you know that people go to the Amazons to do psychoactive drugs? So that means all these drugs are being burned. And through fire, you open energy, portals, things come in through fire, right? Why do you think in church, okay, and when you do rituals, it's always with a candle? See, with your intention, all right, this is what I would do, all right? And this is, I haven't done this, but I'm going to tell you this is what I'm going to do. And if you guys want to do this, you could do this. Light a candle, all right? And all those psychoactive drugs that are burning, that's in the air right now, easily accessible for anybody to get, okay? Burn that candle in with your intention and imagination. Channel all that from that rainforest, all that information. Because you see, when trees are being burned, those are logs. Logs is pretty much logs of data. Why do you think when you cut a tree open, you see the rings? There's actually there's technology that can actually read the information of the trees through those rings. And it can say what's gone on in the past, what's been happening throughout nature, just by the information on those rings. That's why you call logging data. It's data is information. So all these trees that are being burned, okay, does it mean that all that shit is going to waste and it's all going to shit? No, it's not going to shit. See, if you put yourself in the most empowered state possible, all the animals in there that are burning, that are suffering, that are hurting, that lost all their you know, all of their kind, the trees that are burning, channel all that information, and you can use that for yourself. The animals, I mean, if you're eating animals, right? Do you eat the animal and at least, you know, this is where the whole concept of prayer comes in. Do you at least try to transmute that energy and at least say, me as the empowered source that I am, I'm going to eat this energy, but I'm going to transmute it so that this animal that went through this horror or horrible life in the slaughterhouse or in the farms where they were butchered, I'm going to transmute this energy so that this animal is now at peace. Because how do you know what's going on with this? You see, you transmute these energies. Thoughts, when you have a fucked up, corrupted thought, this goes out into the ethers, easily accessible for anybody else to catch. This is why you need to pay attention to your thoughts and keep them clean. So when you eat all these animals, okay, at least put yourself in the state where you are transforming and transmuting that energy, okay? And to extract, because this is the thing, when you eat meat, you see, everything that you're eating is basically information. This is why when you eat a fruit, I made a video on a concept of clean eating. Go watch that video. It's actually a good video. But why I say clean eating is not clean eating in the way where people think they're eating a piece of fish, broccoli, and maybe some cauliflower. No, I'm not talking about that. Clean eating would be where you take a specific color and you pick, you want to work on your root chakra, just eat nothing but red that day. But eat one thing at a time. Eat one red apple and then let it digest. Eat a handful of red raspberries and let that digest. Eat anything red. I mean, I can't think of anything red right now. I usually go through a list of things that I can eat. You know what I mean? But you know, strawberries, stuff like that. All right, and berries are very good. They're very, very high water soluble foods, which means that not only is it having a cleansing effect because the water in those fruits are actually distilled water, and it's also hydrating you. Okay, excuse me. So the very important thing here to take into consideration is that if you're eating these colors, you're eating them with the intent to clean that root chakra out. So with your imagination as you're eating them, you can actually meditate. Because a lot of people, what do they do when they eat? They're eating and they're texting or watching a video or doing other things, watching TV as they're eating, right? You're not even fully present with the food you're eating. So how could you even feel the energies of the foods that are going into your body? Let alone you're going to go into an ayahuasca trip and have these experiences, and then you're going to get all fucking scared and shit. So this is clean eating. Say you want to work on your solar plexus chakra, then you eat some mangoes that day, but eat one mango, right? Eat a banana, you know what I mean? So eat anything yellow and you eat it like that, and then let it digest, and then you feel the energies from it. You start to feel subtle energies from the foods you're eating. And if you can grow your own food, even better, okay? Because you know that you're the one that's been handling that food from the moment it started to the moment it bear fruits, which is why, like I said, I've been picking out food from my own yard, and we've been eating the food from our own yard. Okay, so basically that's clean eating. Okay, so if you're going to eat an apple, it's a simple strain of information, which means that if you're eating that apple, you're gonna eat that genetic code. That information is very easy for the body to read. But if you're eating a bunch of different things at a time, that's very, very difficult for the body to process. And not only that, if you're eating meat is eaten with a bunch of emotions, and emotions is basically one of the most complex things that you can possibly have is emotions. So it's really important to realize that, you know, if you're eating meat, Okay, that's why it's hard for the body to process, but not only digest, but also process that kind of information. But it is also dead food. This is why they say you're dead meat, like when somebody's gonna, or you know, you're a meathead and stuff like that. This is why these big ass bodybuilders, they look at them and they're like, oh, you know, dumb jocks. Why do you call them dumb jocks, right? But it's because they're eating stuff a crazy amount, and they eat it mindlessly, just like zombies, you know, just like zombies. So it's pretty important to realize that what you're eating, you can process it, but be conscious and aware of what the subtle sensations of what you're eating. And then the more you do that, the more self-aware you become of yourself, the more you'll start to lucid dream, the more you'll start to astral travel and stuff like that. The astral traveling, I've done it by accident. It just keeps happening by accident, but I never actually do it on purpose. But the lucid dreaming, yeah, I mean, I have lucid dreams, and I'm able to at least, you know, have a clear remembering of what's going on in the dream, and then I can write things down and get stuff out of it. Now here's the thing. This is super important to know though. If you're gonna act or think godly, you better be godly. Okay? You need to actually be godly. All right, and being God is not like you're coming over here saying, okay, I'm gonna, you know, you know, you call yourself God and stuff like that. And I don't call myself God or anything like that. But it's, you need to be in an empowered, godly mind state. But you need to live that way as well. You need to live that way. All right, because I'll tell you right now, I mean, this is the experiences I've had before I came to the realization that this is what's happening. You will feel washed up. You will get drained out. You will have things challenging you. So use things to your advantage. Stop putting yourself in a victim mentality. The forest is on fire. Motherfucking well. It sounds cruel, but it's not cruel. You need to be indifferent toward things. There's a lot of traps out here, including the emotions you feel for your own family members. When you die and transform, these things here that you put so much attachments to, they all fade away the same exact way. When you wake up from a dream that you don't write, they fade away the same exact way. So that's why I said everything that you've put so much energy outside of yourself should have been redirected to you. The only thing that really matters. Why do you think they say put on your oxygen mask first before you try to save others? Work on self before you try to help others. Listen, change your mind, change your life. I'll tell you right now, don't look for things outside of you. When you are right and you are in harmony and in frequency, these things will start to look for you. People, places, and things. The same way when it comes to even physical abundance that you want to call money and stuff like that over here, you'll start to attract people, places, and things to put you in that state, because you're vibrating in harmony. You are an open channel to that. So the energy now looks for you, and now it's all attracted to you. But of course, you have to do the work. But the work is you putting yourself and aligning yourself to that vibration. And here's the last advice I'll give you on this. When you want to do this, let's say align yourself with something you want to do, put yourself in that state already there. Now, here's the thing though. A lot of people who want to go into an ayahuasca trip, they'll say, I want to know, I want to lift the veil. I want to see everything for what it is. But how many people are in the mind state to embetter the planet, which really is you? They only want to do it for self-servient reasons. To better their life, to get more money, to do what they have to do better in their life. But are they doing anything to empower anybody else outside of them? So these are the things you got to ask yourself. You know what I mean? Now, you want something? Starts with a thought. Put yourself in that place already, because it already exists. Otherwise, you wouldn't have thought of it. You want to be, let's say you want to change the world. Not $1 million. Let's say you want to change the world. You want this to be literally heaven on earth, right? I'm just giving you an example. Your mentality has to be where you're there already. but don't think of the process on how to get there. See, that's not your job. Okay, the moment you start to do that, you're literally, there's an outer force outside of you, okay, that is making this happen for you, which is really you. But the moment you try to think about the process on how you're gonna get there, rather than just being there and feeling like you're there already, knowing that you're there already, like losing your mind and putting yourself in that state, then there's no choice but for the universe to bring that to you, because you already put yourself. That's how you talk to source, is basically through symbols, emotions, but not by thinking of the process. You're just literally getting in the universe's way, whatever the universe means to you. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of my latest content, and we'll talk soon.